Okay, guys, just going to do a quick preview for Launceston on Wednesday night, the 4th of October. As I've alluded to last week, it's always a bit tricky this time of year with the a lot of synthetic track form being transferred over to the turf surface, and it's also that time of the year just before the good horses begin coming back. Actually, there was trials today in Hobart that there are a number of really exciting types stepped out, so the next couple of weeks we should see some of the better ones returning. So anyway, I've got the old form guide in front of me here, so I might just throw a couple out so I'm not cleaning the meeting at all, and then we might just actually road test the new Tas Racing website and just have a quick look at that and get my thoughts and etc. But anyway, just with the form, so in the first I settled on Specialist. Him and GG's Cats competed in the same race at Devonport. There's no doubt Specialist went better. GG Cats then came out and ran well in Hobart, back on the turf. Form from the race, Specialist ran second. The winners since come out and won again, albeit narrowly, and obviously GG Cats ran third in the race and came out and got beaten narrowly. So that's stood up. Both draw well, so you think they'd fight it out. Purple Rider's one who always hits the line. I just think 1200's still probably a notch too short for him. And the other thing I'm a bit concerned about is that the rail's out 1 metre. If we go back to last week when torrential downpour and the heavy 10, the rail was out 9. So you would guess that anything 9 metres out is going to be quicksand. So you've virtually only got an 8 metre window to race on. So it may favour those on speed, or if you're coming from back in the field, you're probably going to want to try and weave your way through instead of going around them. So might be something to keep an eye on early on in the card. Yep, so you do like Specialist in the first, but we'll probably have a quick look at his form when we look at the other side. The second, General Sussex, is probably one of those that's going to be very well found and start silly price, but still have to have him on top. Super run first up in Tassie. Don't think there's much doubt he probably should have won. Tougher race, and it also just depends on where he gets to in the run, whether he has to come right around them. Clean Achieve, a trial well at Longford. Chthonius was okay in the same race as General Sussex, but difficult to see it turning the tables. Copper Alley Base trialled okay, and Rossover was good at its first Tasmanian start. But probably disappointed a couple of times subsequently, but draws to get a gun run this week. But with the favourite, but doubt he's going to be backable price. The third, this not the strongest race you'll ever see. Just work through them. Moorcroft's been okay on the synthetic. Just it really hasn't shown a turn of foot. Getting onto the turf might sort of aid on that front. Ballistic Lass is the interesting one, first up in Tassie. Victorian form's fair, as I said, but this is not the deepest race you're ever going to see. And Fancy Dance is super honest, chased home some handy ones, so really gets its chance. Even with drawing the outside, you'd think it's definitely going to be in the finish. Yeah, but probably a race I'm not enthused about. And it's a bit sort of a theme for the card as well. Later on we've got the more exposed form, and any race pattern is probably will determine what I'm going to back. Sort of tipping them now is a little bit difficult. Our Shanachie, Barrier 1, Dale Hill probably leads it, stalks it all the way. Katoon, if they can run on, she's going well. Greenmount Lass, won at 100 to 1, 2 starts back, and then was very good behind Katoon again at its latest start. So Yeah, so, just from the draw, our Shaniki, but once again, I doubt it's going to be value for money at the likely price. Race 5, I think GG's Top Notch will appreciate the return to the turf surface, but also draw on the outside gate. So, yeah, it's just a little bit iffy there. Gladstone's one who makes its own luck on speed, keeps whacking away. Yeah, so probably step the pedal. He said she was okay in Hobart. Like, despite being unplaced, the sectionals were still pretty good. So, and with the claim, doesn't seem too badly off either. So, yeah, tricky little race that one. But the 6th, Orange River, went down narrowly. Tricky little draw out in 8, a bit of speed underneath, but when it goes forward, like, it's proven it can lead, and even if there's too much speed, you can just slot in. So yeah, pretty happy. I do actually like Orange River a bit, so yeah, so we'll leave that race there. The staying race, very difficult to assess this because like another brother won by nearly 20 lengths last week, but you don't know whether that was because he went enormous or whether the others just simply didn't handle the bottomless track and he was grossly flattered. And further to that, obviously you're getting cops short odds, so Hashimar was good in defeat in Hobart. End of the night's been, just won his past couple in the synthetic, so yeah, just probably if forced to pick one, I'd probably go Hashimar just at the better value, but tricky race. And the last is another one you can virtually make a case for all of them. You've got Akbar J, well supported to win last time. This looks much tougher. Little Ray of much improved last time on speed. Pistol Jack's consistent. The Austrian Oak always runs on. Valerius ditto. Hot Chisel, probably the one it's difficult to make a case for. And Trophy Legs, like, never ever runs badly. Sort of tends to find one a little bit better. But just with her racing pattern, she's probably the one who's going to position up on speed, making its own luck. So whilst she doesn't win out of turn, she's definitely going to be in the mix. But forced to pick a couple, we'll start off in the first in the form of Specialist, and then race 6 Orange River. So we'll just make those the two. As I said, this time of year it's quite difficult, so tend to go with the blatantly obvious. Don't like too much at value, and actually there's a few dual acceptors, so we might even get a few more scratchings as well. So a decent meeting in Hobart on Sunday, but as we alluded to before, we might actually just go to the new website and give it a bit of a test drive. So first thing I notice when I look at it is that I can't find any of this housekeeping stuff. Like, you'd like to know where the rail is, what the track condition is, even penetrometer, etc. But I can't see any of that on here. So we'll just go to race 1 and we'll have a look at Specialists. So there's a few. We'll go through the positives first of all, and then a couple of things I'd probably like to see change. So positives are, obviously, you've got one click for, just say, look, Specialist was a horse I liked in the first, $2.60 with, who's that with, Luxbet at the moment. So probably want a little bit better than that. You can see his past 5 starts. He's obviously been injury prone. First start back in 2014. Then 2 years off the scene. Resumed with a very good run. And one-click videos. Been wanting this for ages. Just for some reason they've only actually got the head on of this race, but still gives us an idea. So we've got GG Cats here running third and Specialist last. So we'll just go. So I've only got the head on, so his GG Cats, his Specialist coming through the middle. You see, he just drops the whip here actually. Yep, there it goes. You know, only went down by a short margin. It's fair to say that if this horse went straight, it would have won anyway. You know, but Specialists obviously beating GG's Cats clearly there. Return to the turf probably is in GG Cats' favour. So, but I just like the fact that you've got that. The one thing when I go to this form though, the one thing I would like to see is, like, this speed thing means nothing to me. Speed of horses in kilometres an hour, like, seriously. I just replace that with what weight they carried. I just, you know, then you've got the one click, you can see that, you know, ran third of 14 at Devonport on the synthetic, Daniel Ganderton Road. Just say if we had the weight there, carried 56 kilos, for example, got beaten 2.3. It says metres, that's lengths, and the starting price. So that's all good. Happy with that. Just change the speed, take that out, and replace it with the weight carried. So yeah, but happy with the one click. The other thing is, you know, it's a bit of a, almost comes across as an advertorial for Stride Master. Like I've got a maths background and I struggle to comprehend what all this is all about. So, hate to think what the average punter sort of makes of it. Yeah, so, you know, like, that speed map thing I quite like. Lets you make your own little speed map. So if we look at this, the horses that we're giving chances to here, GG Cats Drew's Barrier 2. You know, I don't think there's much doubt Laddie and the Rocket's a certain leader, and GG's Cat still crossed my shop early, so you imagine it's going to be leaders back stalking it. GD's Cricket sort of outside. Special Straws 5, whilst it settled last at Devonport, you probably see it settling about, you know, a lot of these horses drawn wide aren't natural go forward horses. Just looking at a few of them, Perez, got it settling last. I'd imagine it'll be up outside the leader. Purple Rider is one that he's definitely going to go back. Probably almost got as much ability as any horse in the race. It's just that race doesn't map well for him. I think we're probably looking for 1400. Biscay Barb, first up. Tried over distance at the end of last campaign, but generally its form's okay here. And yes, and there's not too much speed drawn inside, so it mightn't be, the draw mightn't be as bad as it first appears. So yeah, but I quite like the fact with the speed map, whilst you have a mental picture, sometimes just being able to see it like that. You know, like the one horse greatly advantage with the speed map here is GG Cats, when you look at it like that. And Specialist with all this, you know, the speed underneath, he's guaranteed, as long as he jumps, he's going to posse up in a very striking position. So, yeah, no, so I can cop that. Quite like it. As I mentioned though, but there's just that little housekeeping stuff about the rail, the track condition, like it probably will say here at some stage, but so I was looking at the trial results earlier on here. So, and this is for Hobart, and some actually very good horses trialled at this meeting, and this part of it's fine, like being able to watch the replays and stuff was all good. There's no times for them. Like the one thing with trials, you like to be able to, if we just have a look at the old site, Now you could look at these trials and see that seen some very handy horses trialled here. GG's Jet trialled 55.89, last 600 33.41. Gives you an idea how they went in the trial. Like they went a second quicker than GG Red Prince, home in a second quicker as well. Yeah, so it just gives you that quick understanding of how the trial was, whereas on here you haven't actually got that. So that's probably another thing. So, but there's not too much. Like there's a lot of positives on there. Like been harking for ages that I just want one-click replays and being able to click on who was actually past form. Like if we look at the specialist race last time, so I'll just click on that. So error. Well, that's handy. I did actually. I looked at it. I'll just say I'll go to Purple Rider. If you wanted to see the strength of its last run. So we've got that there, like second to long one. And you've got the full field there. It's just being able to do that with one click instead of in the old days. It was like form, you'd have to, so 3rd of 10, 24th of September, you have to go to the results for the 24th of September. So you then have to go back. So 24th of September, click on that, find what race number it was in, and then go to video replays, click on that date, then click on the race number. So it's about a 6-step process now. It's just a single click. So very happy with that. Obviously the odds give you an idea as well. Happy with that. So I think the positives outweigh the negatives. Hopefully there's a bit of tinkering still to be done, but probably the only two. It's just a little bit busy as with the Stride Master stuff, like a bit of Stride Master overload, but with the so overall probably 70% happy with it. So lots of positives, and as we said, as long as it's sort of open to change and listen to feedback going forward, I think we'll have a good product in the long run. So anyway, guys, we'll just leave it there. So the two that I've picked out are race 1, number 4 specialist. Probably want near $3. It's just, as I said, not going to throw out too much of value at the moment, just because it's hard to sort of line up the synthetic form. So I tend to just going with the blatantly obvious. So we're going very slowly here. The other one was Orange River. I just clicked on the race. Here we go. He's $2.80. So, and once again, he's not a horse you want to be launching into at $2.80. So, should be able to get a little bit better as well. So $3 plus both of them, hopefully. And we might just wrap it up there. So it's virtually my first look at the website, so I'm still a bit of a novice at it, but I think there's a lot of positives to take out of it. So be interesting to see how it evolves going forward. But anyway, they're the couple for Wednesday night. So we've got another meeting on Sunday in Hobart. So until then, we'll leave you with it and chat to you then. Cheers, guys.